Hello and welcome back, guys. It's me again. Today I'm not exactly Woody, but you would know me as Woody if you've seen Joshua's Object Camp, and you would know the host, Gun, over here as well. Gun.
Hello.
You don't have to lean in close to the camera, you know. You can just talk from where you are. No, seriously, you can talk from where you are. You don't have to pull forward to the camera or anything. Regardless, you may be wondering why we aren't doing a new episode of the camp. Well, needless to say, our weekends have become kind of congested. So, instead of doing Joshua's Object Camp episodes for the next 2 weekends, we are going to be doing this new series, and if I click the mouse here, you're going to see exactly what it is. But first, I am sticking to my word and removing eliminated contestants from the title screen. The first time this happened, Dollar was removed, and since Blindfold is the latest one eliminated, if you look toward where Platter and Mona Lisa is sitting right now, Blindfold is not there anymore, which means he's been eliminated. Moving on. Here is the title of our new show! Concept Conception, with your hosts, Young and Yoshua. Yeah, 2 old people from a really old planet. So, yeah, Blue Woody confirmed. And also, you may be wondering why, Gun's counterpart over here has no legs. Well, I guess that since this is a talk show, we can tell them why. Yeah, this is mainly due to the fact that we think that his legs, since he's old, they might have gotten blasted off in some sort of war or something, or they might have been frozen and they had to be surgically removed or something like that. Anywho, that's not important, the character concept. So, yeah, is there anything you really want to talk about before we get to the first segments? First off, the characters here are intended to be old, as you can see via the phonograph, the old-style TV, the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, and the Beatles poster. But regardless, one of the major topics that has come up as of late is Britannic being hated by some of the other competitors for eliminating Blindfold. What's your take on this? No, you don't have to get in close. You can just talk from where you are.
You know, I think all the hate for Britannic, I think it's ridiculous.
Is that your honest opinion, or is that just faking?
I'm serious.
Well, okay then. My take on this, I personally think, I agree with you. I personally think all the hate for Britannic is a little bit ridiculous. Sure, he used the gold token to get rid of Blindfold, but that doesn't make him the worst user in the camp automatically now, does it? Like, over the couple of episodes that we've had, I've been telling people, eliminate the person that's going up for resign-ups, because they are not helping your team in any way whatsoever, and they just lower your team's chances of actually winning the challenge. So if we're going by this, I'm assuming that Ping Pong Ball will be going next, due to his inactivity. He hasn't done 2 challenges in a row. He needs 1 more to go up for resign-ups. And in terms of the current challenge, I may as well remind the viewers of who hasn't done the challenge yet. Game Cartridge, you have not done the challenge yet. And Orb, even though you have done the challenge, you have done it incorrectly. So, yeah. Also, we are still waiting for 1 other person to do the challenge. And that would be Tissues. So, yeah, don't expect to see the results until at least next week, because Tissues has not done the challenge yet. And the main reason for the October 31st deadline is, I'm going to let you tell them.
It's the Halloween special.
Yes, it's the Halloween special, and me and the host have coincided on this, and we agreed to deliberately end it on Halloween. Because it's, the Halloween special, and we need to get into the holiday spirit. Now, you guys might be arguing that, what happened to the Thanksgiving special? Well, I do apologize, we didn't make the Canadian Thanksgiving date, but we might be able to do a American Thanksgiving special episode. Because American Thanksgiving, in case you don't know, and I'm going to say this to the host as well, American Thanksgiving is actually in November. So that means we technically didn't miss our chance for the Thanksgiving special. We can just have it in the next episode. So long as if Britannic doesn't go home, of course. Because if he does, well, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but we're going to have a sinking ship challenge where you guys are going to have to escape from the sinking ship. That's basically it. Anything goes. Just escape from the sinking ship. It's a life or death situation. I know I shouldn't be making fun of the life or death situation, but at least we're going with the Titanic scenario instead of the Britannic scenario. Because if me and the host remember correctly, Britannic sunk on its side when it was struck by a torpedo, right?
Right.
So this caused the ship to flood particularly quickly, and then it toppled over onto its side, and that's the way it sits in the ocean to this very day, which is on its side. Also, apparently the impact of the torpedo was so big, it must have ripped a hole in the ship. Because if you take a look at a wreck photo, you can actually see that there is a gigantic hole in the side of the boat. So, anywho, I guess that's all about the Britannic thing. Also, all the hate for Blindfold, I do apologize for that happening. Like, I do realize that I'm going over the same situation twice now. But Blindfold was a great competitor. He did all the challenges, and he is the only active user that was eliminated in the team stage. Now, who's to say that BFDI Match isn't active? BFDI Match was busy with other camps at the time, and that was how Top Hat got eliminated. So, I don't know. If Top Hat really is still active, then perhaps we can make him rejoin at some point. And I don't want to give away too many details, so why don't we introduce them to our first segment, shall we?
Yes.
And what is the segment called? It's Beta Blue! Yeah, Beta Blue, Beta Fish, Beta Letter, blue paint strokes. Not so sure if you can see the blue word art on top of everything else that's blue. Basically, it's just blue. Regardless, on today's segment of Beta Blue, we are going to be talking about contestants that were initially going to be in the camp, but ended up getting cut for one reason or another. So, yeah, I'm going to let my brother say the names of the contestants as they pop up on the screen here. And we're going to be talking about each contestant individually, what they would have done for the camp, such and such. So, here's the first one. Warning! I know that Mona Lisa got scared of the oncoming jump scare, which was the guy from, I'm sorry for the jump scare, so I'm going to warn the viewers this time. There is an oncoming jump scare in 2 seconds. So, are you ready for this? If you are not ready for this, then please skip to the next contestant in this video. So, here it is.
Puppet jump scare.
Ah, yes, the good old puppet jump scare from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. What can I say? Puppet's one of my favorite animatronics. But if you go on the BFDI fanfiction wiki, really good website, by the way, if you're looking for contestants, it's actually particularly interesting how this one came to be. My brother was asking me to put in some things from the wiki, as you would imagine he would, because he's a huge fan of that website. And He came across the puppet jump scare and Majora's Mask, so he told me, put one of these two into the camp. So I picked puppet jump scare because logically it would have been a lot cooler. But, you know, puppet jump scare just didn't work out. Or at least I thought it wouldn't, and I didn't realize that at the time, GIFs on my version of PowerPoint would only work when it was being presented. So yeah, that's my bad. I can imagine that Puppet Jump Scare could have easily replaced Platter, because Platter's like Five Nights at Freddy's theme, right?
Right.
And I don't know if you know this, but Platter is from the show called Object Redundancy. Am I correct there?
I believe so.
You know you can interrupt me at any point, right? To say something if you want to say something.
Really?
Yes, you can. Regardless, yeah, it's a talk show, really, what this is. Puppet Jump Scare would have easily been able to replace Platter. And if things go the way we played them out to be, Puppet Jump Scare would actually have been a team captain. But I'm not so sure, like, what we would have gone for this. Would we have gone with, we couldn't have gone with paranormal puppets. Perhaps perplexing puppets. Yeah, that would have been half decent. Or the jivey jump scares, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, jive, it's a very old word. People don't really use it much anymore. Anywho, do you have anything you like to comment about Puppet Jump Scare? Because this is the time if you want to say anything about him before we move on to the next contestant.
I don't really have anything to say about this character.
Okay then, so you heard him. Let's move on to the next character, shall we? The next character that was initially going to be in the camp but was dropped is Moai. Yeah, we're gonna alternate. I'm going to say the even-numbered ones, he's gonna say the odd-numbered ones. With the exception of the joint ones, we're going to say that together. Moai, I can't really say too much about the guy. Moai was initially going to be the toxic waste of the camp and was actually my first choice when it came to inserting a specific group of people. I'm not going to say what their name is here, but perhaps on a future edition of Concept Conspiracy, if you guys want me to continue this series, maybe you guys will want me to talk about that group and what its significance is. Anywho, Moai, I'm assuming, would be calm and collected and stuff like that. Usually a very sneaky character, conducts his activities in secret. I don't really have too much to say about this guy, so unless my host friend over here has anything to say about it, then we can move on.
Nope.
You don't have anything to say?
Not really.
Okay, then let's move on. The next contestant that was dropped was...
Riot Shield.
Yeah, he could certainly cause a riot based on his, picture there. Oh, gosh darn it, I forgot to make the legs go to the background, or at least the one on the right anyways. Whatever, maybe next time. Regardless, Riot Shield is actually, his personality, if I'm gonna go in depth, is actually a retired... Well, he isn't a retired cop. He dropped out of being a cop, and now he's an evil cop. Yeah, it's kind of a bad cop situation. And also, he carries his weapons with him everywhere he goes, so he would be kind of an evil competitor. Not outright evil like Z or Red Baron, if you've seen the more recent episodes of the camp. But, he would be more like... I don't know, he would be more like middle of the road, somewhat like lighter. A bully, but not exactly a villain. Does my host over here have anything to say about it?
Still no.
Okay, then I see where this is going. Let's move on. Next contestant, Swiss Army Knife. This guy, man, this guy was going to be insanely crafty, insanely creative. This guy was everything. You know how Swiss Army knives in real life have practically everything you could ever want on the inside of them? Like, you got scissors, you got knives, you got toothpicks, you got screwdrivers. There is a lot of stuff. And to fit it all in such a compact item is what contributed to Swiss Army knife's crafty nature. And these are all listed in chronological order. I tried Moai first, then I attempted Riot Shield, and when that didn't work, I attempted Swiss Army Knife. And when that didn't work, I went on to the next two competitors, which we'll be getting to in a little bit. Swiss Army Knife is actually almost in the pose that he's shown in the concept art that I made for him a while back. So do you have anything to say about this character in particular?
Still no.
I see where this is going. Alright then, next one. Actually, did I say next one? I meant next two.
Coffin?
And sarcophagus. Coffin and sarcophagus are basically the same character. They're basically both coffins, and they both deal with the dead. These two were both supposed to be part of the camp at some point, but I decided to drop them for two reasons. In Coffin's case, he is free. The first reason is the religious reference that he carries on his body, so to speak. And the other two is that they both deal with the dead, and they're both sort of dark contestants. And I mean really, really dark contestants. Yeah, Coffin and sarcophagus are basically all doom and gloom. The only difference is that you see Coffin out in the open a lot more, and you don't really see sarcophagus all that much, actually. Do you have anything to say about these two? Because this is your last chance to say anything about these guys before we move on.
I still have nothing to say.
Okay then, moving on to our next segment, I think. 5 secrets about the host and co-host. Yeah, you knew this was coming eventually. If this was a talk show, we would have to tell you something about something once in a while. Are you ready for the first secret?
Yes.
Are you guys ready for the first secret? No response. Okay, then moving on. Secret number 1. Gunn once suggested an elimination order challenge to me, Woody. The idea was dropped until I found out it was Mona Lisa who proposed the idea to the host. The idea is currently still in consideration. So in other words, guys, keep an eye out for future episodes. This could be a future challenge, and one of the few that will actually be uploading a video to your channel saying, what order do you think these guys are going to go home in? Personally, we think that the earlier we do it, the better, but Halloween special and potential Thanksgiving special and Britannic's possible elimination in the future, you know, we just really don't have time for an elimination order challenge right now. Maybe once we hit the point stage, we'll consider doing it. I'm not so sure. Secret number 2. The reason why you got so many luck challenges on the 2 big team stage is because I don't like most simplistic challenges. Yeah, simplistic challenges aren't really my thing. I'm in for over-the-top, complicated challenges that can be done particularly easily. Or wording is just difficult if it's done easily. And also, let's recap the challenges in order. Episode 1 wasn't even a luck challenge. It was... okay, I guess it was kind of a luck challenge. I mean, it was luck of the draw, depending on what you picked, and what the other people picked, and what you were able to beat, and what you weren't able to beat. Episode 2, do you remember what that challenge was?
I believe it was picking a box.
Yes, it was picking a box. I love picking the boxes. That was particularly easy, but it was also a luck challenge when it came down to it. So, yeah, that's basically how that went down. Episode 3 was a challenge with the riddles, and it wasn't so much as a luck challenge as it was with a guessing game. So technically, Episode 3 was not a luck challenge. Episode 4, what was that challenge? I think it was the Suspects Challenge, and that was another luck challenge, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay then, so, yeah, that was the introduction of jump scares into the camp, so I do apologize for those of you that have been scared previously. Episode 5 was the Race Challenge, and that wasn't a luck challenge, that was a comments race. That challenge was over before it started, so to speak. Like, Neptune, it didn't matter who placed after Neptune, because Neptune won the challenge, and it was over. The Juicy Oranges won the challenge, it was plain to see. And after that, we have the most recent challenge, which is the currently ongoing, horror challenge. It is also a luck challenge because we're utilizing the randomizer website again. And secret number 3 is also challenge related. The deleted first challenge was a music picking challenge. Answers included the bad ending themes from Clock Tower 2 and Slaughterhouse 3, as well as famous creepypasta themes like Slenderman and Red. You probably don't know any of what I just said, did you? Well, I'm not going to let you look those up. Moving on. Alright then, so what would a secrets video be without dishing dirt on the host and co-host? So Gunn, the host of the camp, has a passion for dolphins and all other ocean creatures. Any comments?
Dolphins!
What other ocean creatures do you like?
Sharks.
Anything else? Just list them all off your top of the head if you can remember them.
The only other one I can remember is jellyfish.
Oh, I love those things. You know, the tentacles, the electrocution. They're so mysterious, too, and so intelligent. It's weird, though, because they're just a membrane. They're made out of 90% water. How can they live? Whatever. And the final secret! Woody, despite being married, because remember, Axe, when I gave out the gold token in episode 4, has another crush in the object world. I'm going to give it 2 seconds to sink in. No, I don't. What proof do you have? The photo right next to me. Yeah. Sorry. Moving on. So, any closing words for today?
Nope.
I don't have any closing words either. So, until next time, broadcasting live from the Y planet over in the Andromeda Galaxy, this has been Concept Conception. See you on the next episode.
Bye.